Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast. This is me here, Vorten Fett,
And me, Gustav Star Wars Battlefront.
and we're going to be talking about the main issues that are going on right now currently with Battlefront 2. So one of the first things that we wanted to kind of hit is the whole loot crate system that Battlefront 2 had at launch, and kind of our thoughts on the pay-to-win system that Battlefront had at the initial launch period for Battlefront 2. And Gustav, what were your thoughts when you first saw the loot crate system in Battlefront 2?
Yeah, I knew straight from the start that it was going to be like pay to win. And EA said it will not be pay to win at every press conference and at the E3 and EA Play. Um, and I just knew from the beginning that it was going to be pay to win. I would hope that it was only cosmetics, but I knew that it will be weapon, star cards. But I didn't know it was gonna be so damn connected to the progression system.
Yeah, I agree as well. It definitely, we didn't think it was going to impact the gameplay as much as it actually did at the initial launch. A lot of people are saying it wasn't, that big of a boost. Those star cards were not that big of an issue. But once we actually got hold of the actual launch system, we realized how horrible it actually was, and how much of a pay to win it definitely was at launch.
Yeah, like it's not that big a boost for the troopers. It's much more for the heroes, but it doesn't matter. It should be no boost at all. For me as a player, I want to earn weapons, star cards, and everything by playing, ranking up, like in the old game. It's much better like that.
Right.
So
Yeah. That is a pretty crazy system, right? That you can actually rank up for actually playing the game and not having to
yeah,
spend money, right? I think
yeah,
EA would have gone with the original system that has worked in pretty much every game that we've ever played.
yeah. And like the only way to progress your class is to buy loot crates and randomly get better cards and randomly upgrade your level.
Right. Yeah.
That's yeah,
The progression system's definitely based around those loot crates. You can't even level up your classes without star cards, and the best way to obtain star cards is the whole loot crate system.
yeah. And you can see your reward to the next level is an emote. What the fuck is that? An emote?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also, after the big controversy over the loot crate system, after like the trial version, people started mass refunding the game, and then EA later responded with a comment, basically restating why the loot crates were the way they were, and also the progression system of why they were, and basically stating they want a sense of accomplishment, and that's why it was basically so grindy for the progression system, which then later became the most downvoted comment in Reddit history. Pretty insane, and then later led to the removal of the microtransactions. Do you think those microtransactions are going to come back? And if you do you think it's going to be any better than what we saw at launch?
first of all, the sense of accomplishment that's really funny. 60,000 credits for one hero. There was one guy on Reddit who counted it. You have to play like 10,000 hours or something to get all the heroes, and
Yeah.
they can't bring the loot crates back. I don't think they can, because it's such a big backlash right now that they can't bring them back with the pay to win progression system. People will not play the game anymore. New people will not come in, so it's gonna be a really big problem for them, for EA and Dice.
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't think it would be a good decision for them to bring that loot crate system back. But I'm kind of curious what strategy they're going to use, because cosmetic would be very difficult, because everything does have to be approved through Lucasfilm. So are they're gonna have to essentially rework the whole progression system and the loot crate system in the game, and so that would be a huge update. Kind of
Yeah,
curious what actually system they're going to end up rolling out if they go away from the microtransactions completely.
yeah, they have to do cosmetics. That's their only choice. They can't bring back guns and star cards. into the loot crates randomly. They need to be earned by playing the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. At this point, if they brought the loot crates back and still had a similar pay-to-win style microtransaction system, I definitely feel like this game would be completely dead within 6 months.
Yeah, I feel so too, because there's so much people who complain right now about the game. I saw Frankie Dulo just today upload a video. He compared Battlefront 2015 to this Battlefront, and his conclusion was that the last game was better.
Yeah,
he compared all the stages, like graphics, gameplay, FPS, all that stuff, and the last Battlefront was better in his opinion. And I've heard many other YouTubers say the same thing. So it's a really big problem right now.
Yeah, I never thought I would be saying 2015 was better, because that had that had its issues.
Yeah.
But I could actually agree with that statement, just because of the big issues that this game has basically had recently. I mean, gameplay wise, this game, if it ran smoothly, this game would be beautiful, and it'd be one of the best Battlefront games I've ever played. But all the progression systems, stuttering, lag, and mainly the loot crates, it's really...
Yeah, this game could be so much better if everything was perfect. No game is perfect, but if you look at the last game and this game, it could be so much better with all the upgraded graphics, new guns, a lot more heroes, 3 eras, prequel, original, sequel. It could be so much better, and it could beat all the originals Battlefront.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that I hope in 6 months it's the Battlefront we always wanted. But I definitely fear, with the way EA started off with this game, that it's not going to ever be the Battlefront that we all deserve and want.
Yeah, I also hope it's gonna be the best Battlefront game ever, but I don't know if the backlash is too big or they can fix it. We will have to see.
Right. And since we were on the topic of loot crates, do you think that loot crates, in the form that it was in, do you think that's a kind of a form of gambling? Because there's a few companies out there that are saying it's not gambling, because you always are, you always earn something no matter what. Do you think it is kind of a form of gambling, and can basically hurt our youth, especially because it is a legal form of gambling for children?
I wouldn't say it's straight up gambling. It's a sort of gambling, because you get random things and you put money in. You want the best things. So for kids, it's not good at all.
Yeah, I definitely think it could definitely impact the youth more than anything, because it does teach our youth. Basically, you always do get something, but it can definitely teach your youth gambling habits, I would say. If you don't get the star card you were wanting, I'll just spend another $1, try to get that star card, and that
exactly,
obviously that can build up to a couple $100 very, very quickly.
Yeah,
and
that's a big problem. Kids are taking their parents' credit cards and putting microtransactions in non-stop. That would be a big failure for the game.
Yeah, me being a parent, I could definitely see the kid taking your credit card and running it up a couple $100, and that's not good. That's definitely...
I only get trash.
Yeah, and the stuff you get in the loot crates are, at least from what I've seen, are not that good anyways. You don't seem to ever really get any good drops out of them.
I think I opened like 5 crates today. I got maybe 1 uncommon card.
Yeah, I've never... I know epics are supposedly you can't earn via crates anymore.
Epic card, I know.
But I think legendaries you can, and I think I've gotten 1 common, and everything else is just, or 1 blue, whatever the blue is called now.
Oh, there is no legendaries. Epic is the highest.
Okay, epic is the highest.
Yeah.
I know the colors, but not the names.
Yeah.
And EA, though, with all this controversy right before they pulled the actual loot crates from the game, and I think this was the big reason they pulled it, is supposedly, and if I can find the source, I'll link it in the description, but supposedly Disney called up EA's CEO to basically figure out what they're doing with the Star Wars IP, because of all this big backlash, and essentially could hurt sales for their movie that's coming out very shortly. You have any thoughts on the possibility of EA losing the Star Wars license from Disney?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't want EA to handle Battlefront series. I would hope that DICE can be their own without EA and create a game alone.
Right.
Because I don't think DICE would have want the loot crate system from the beginning.
Yeah, I definitely don't think DICE is the issue here. I definitely believe it is EA and their very greedy behavior lately with their games. I mean, there's every single game is monetized with microtransactions that they put out, especially their sports games like FIFA. I think FIFA is the one that really started the microtransactions, at least for EA's side of it.
Yeah, I've played it as well. Ultimate Team in FIFA, it's a lot of microtransactions.
Yeah, I think there was a stat. I'm not 100% sure exactly the numbers on it, but EA's revenue, I think it was like 60 to 70% of their revenue all came from microtransactions, and I think that's why they started really pushing the whole microtransactions in all of their games. But I guess to get away, since we kind of hammered down the loot crates to get away, let's look at some of the other issues that we're seeing in Battlefront. A lot of stuttering, lag, glitches. This just seems like it's just a lot of bugs currently right now in the Battlefront game. Have you noticed a lot of stuttering, lag? Have you ran into any kind of like glitches?
Yeah, of course. Like in the last game, it was no problem. Everything runs smoothly. But in this game, it's stuttering like every time you play. Every time. Sometimes it's just small, but sometimes it's really much. It's really annoying. I don't know about you with PC, but on consoles it's really bad.
Right. Yeah, and just for the viewers out there, he is playing on the PS4, and I do play on the PC, so we kind of have both sides of things, the console side and also the PC side. But I know on the PC firsthand, it's sometimes almost unplayable. The other night actually was horrible, and it does lag every single time you start a game. I've never started a multiplayer match where I didn't get mass stuttering for at least 2 minutes. And sometimes you even have maps like the other day, I couldn't even play Kashyyyk. I had to eventually just leave the game because apparently everybody was having issues with Kashyyyk, which was really weird. But the servers are just atrocious right now, and it doesn't seem like we're hearing from DICE or EA plans on fixing it. It's almost just like they're just not doing anything with the game. They're not communicating anything.
Yeah, it seems like that. They never say anything on Twitter, and I haven't seen like none of the game changers say anything in their video. Like Elliot's Battlefront updates, he hasn't made one video about the stuttering and the lag.
Yeah, it definitely is really disappointing that we're not hearing anything from the especially the game changers. At least you would hear their concerns about the game. If anything, they're still extremely positive with the game, and you don't ever hear anything negative about Battlefront. But there's a lot of negative about this game right now, and they should be the big ones actually saying stuff, because DICE actually hears them. They don't hear smaller YouTubers like us.
Exactly. They are the voice of the community, and they need to take responsibility for the community and tell DICE and EA about that sort of things, who destroys the gameplay for everyone.
Yeah, they're definitely unfortunately right now the voice of the community, because they're definitely not a good voice for us right now. They're not stating the big issues on it. I know like a lot of the glitches that I've seen, at least on the PC. I don't know if you've ever had this issue, but it's almost like a Matrix mode, and you go into this slow-mo, and it's very weird, but it happens actually extremely often, and a lot of
I felt it too. I think Kashyyyk is the map. Like every time we play Kashyyyk, that's the worst stuttering of them all. It happens all the time.
I've seen a lot of videos. I think you actually have a couple of videos of, especially with heroes falling, below the map.
Yeah.
That seems to happen actually quite often, with people falling below the map and Just a lot of other weird glitches. People getting stuck on
Taking a
certain
swim.
areas. Yeah. I think the other day I saw somebody that was just stuck in place, and he was as a Han Solo, and he was just stuck in place, and he couldn't move until another hero came up and hit him out of his little hole that he was stuck in. But
yeah, that's also one thing they should have put in the vault system to this game, because you can be stuck on like everywhere on the maps.
Yeah, I think a vault system would have definitely helped out this game a lot with a lot of the glitches, which I don't quite understand why they didn't add a vault system, because I mean it's in their Battlefield games. It shouldn't be that hard to carry that over, since it's the same engine. They should be able to carry that vault system over.
And I was playing on Mos Eisley yesterday. The whole ground disappeared. A glitch.
Oh yeah.
I could see down into the ground. There was nothing. It was pretty funny.
I mean, you know, obviously this is a really common thing, and a lot of people are seeing it, and it goes the same with the stuttering issues. We're just not hearing anything from EA or DICE on plans of fixing it. Like even just a tweet saying, "Hey guys, we're aware of this issue and we're working on it," would be good enough for me. But right now, I haven't heard anything, not even a peep out of them about the issues with this.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna fix it. I know that you are good with PCs and computers, so maybe you know stuff about FPS and stuff like that. I don't know how much FPS you can have on PS4 when you play to run it smoothly.
Well, it should shooters should run at a solid 60 frames per second, and it shouldn't drop below that. I have a really high end PC, and I've set the game completely on the lowest settings possible to see if that is fixed the stuttering issue and my FPS issue, and it still it helps out a little bit, but it's still, I get mass stutterings, especially when I'm streaming, which is pretty disappointing that my high-end PC can't run this game on low settings, which tells me it's just poor optimization on their part.
Yeah, so it's all about optimization, right?
Yeah, they definitely, it doesn't seem very, at least on the PC side, because I haven't played this on the console, so I can't really speak for that, but it's definitely very poorly optimized for the PC.
I don't know, I think the Game Changer must say something on their channels. They must make videos about it and make EA and DICE concerned about it.
Right. Yeah, I definitely believe the Game Changers need to be talking about this. Very, very surprised and disappointed that we're not hearing word out of them about the issues with this game.
Yeah, it's pretty sad actually.
Yeah, which especially like Battlefront updates. I mean, his whole channel is based off of Battlefront. I mean, it says it right in the name. So if this game fails, his channel fails.
Yeah.
And if these issues don't get fixed soon, this game is going to fail. And so you think he would be the one that would be outraged about this more than anybody, because this is his livelihood.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we have to see what happens. I hope they make videos about it, and
yeah, hopefully maybe they'll get word of this video. Maybe they'll start talking about it.
Yeah, let's hope so, man.
All right, guys, so we've come to the community podcast questions. These are all coming mostly from Gustav's Discord. You guys asked a lot of good questions on here, so we're going to read off some of the questions here and try to answer as many as possible.
Yeah, so first up, we have some questions from my man Solo Boy. Okay, Vorten, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Rebels or the Clone Wars?
I get this all the time. I've only seen a little bit of Rebels. Not the biggest fan. Definitely don't dislike it, but I would have to say Clone Wars. It seems a little more grown up.
Yeah, I agree. I also like Clone Wars more. I've seen like every Rebels episode, but that's only because I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I will hate myself if I don't do it.
Yeah, I definitely.
The Clone Wars was more adult, I think.
Yeah, I definitely plan on watching the Rebels. I'm kind of waiting to binge watch them all when I have a chance.
And the next question is best Star Wars movie.
It's a pretty easy one, hands down. Episode 5 for me.
Yep, Empire Strikes Back for me as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a great one.
Now the next one, worst Star Wars movie.
This is probably most people's answer to it, but Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Okay, I disagree. I have the clones.
Episode 2?
The clones. Yeah.
Episode, really?
Yeah, I think it was too cringy with Anakin and and Padme.
You
That's
didn't
why.
like the whole love story.
No. It was so cringy.
Yeah, it was a bit cringy. I'm not gonna lie on that.
So next question from Boy: best opening scene in a Star Wars movie?
Best opening scene, I would say probably would be Episode 4, with Vader and everything.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I'm a bit disappointed, Vorten. I thought you were gonna say Episode 3, the opening scene with Anakin and the space battle. That was awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's my favorite.
That was a good one. That was definitely.
Yeah.
I just like. I mean, Episode 4. That's what really started Star Wars. And
yeah, of course, it's really cool with
Vader. Started off with a bang and just
yeah.
a good classic.
Yeah, I have it as number 2 spot, so it's pretty good. And the next one, also from Solar Boy, best space battle in the movies.
Probably like you said, like the opening fight scene, Episode 3.
Yeah, you think that's the best?
It's definitely it's definitely up there with the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. it's a really good space scene, but I wouldn't say it's a space battle. If you compare it to Return of the Jedi, space battle was a bit longer and a bit more fleshed out. So I think that I have that one in my number 1 spot. And next question, the last question from Solar Boy: best lightsaber duel in the movies.
One of my favorite lightsaber duels was definitely with Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Is that the best one?
In my opinion, I would say that would be at my top of my list. Even though that movie was kind of poor, but that was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, I like it also. I like the Anakin Obi-Wan from Episode 3. I think that's the best one. It's too much choreographed, but otherwise the characters, it's so fleshed out. The ending is pretty good. I really love that lightsaber duel with those two.
And
it finished the series pretty well also.
Yeah, I definitely liked that, and that was probably my number 2. I just felt like it was slightly drawn out, I guess you would say, but it was definitely a good one. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, that's all about questions. Now we'll have some questions from Craftslol. Why did you become such a big Star Wars fan? Is it because you grew up with it, or do you have a certain impact on your life?
Well, honestly, I just kind of grew up with Star Wars. My dad was a huge Star Wars fan from when he was a kid. I mean, he started off with Episode 4, watched it when he was younger, and kind of just raised me as a Star Wars fan. So I can't really remember a time where I didn't like Star Wars in my life.
Yeah, I think that's the same question, same answer for everyone, because this is a generation thing with Star Wars. My dad also loves Star Wars, and he took me to comic book shops, and we bought some figures, saw all the movies, so he was a big impact on me as well.
Yeah, I always remember going to the midnight release for Episode 1, 2, and 3 with my dad.
Oh yeah,
getting out of school the next day so I can go see Star Wars.
Yeah, I also saw it in the midnight release.
Yeah.
Next question from Crabslol. What's your favorite kind of Star Wars merch?
I would probably say like the lightsabers, honestly. Like the FX lightsabers and things like that.
Yeah, same here. I don't have any, but I want to buy a really good FX lightsaber.
Yeah, I have
expensive.
I have a handmade lightsaber that would cost me like almost over $300.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
You need to show that on the stream sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely will.
Next question from Crabslol. How often do you think about Star Wars?
Well, since obviously my channel is based around Star Wars, I would say probably every day, multiple times a day.
Yeah, same here. I also started my channel, so since then it became nearly every day. But it have a huge impact on my life, so almost every time.
Yeah, it definitely had a big impact on mine as well.
And we have the last question from Crabslol. If you could make the next trilogy, what would it be about? I know what you're gonna say, Vorten.
What is it about? I'd like, Vorten fit Star Wars. Probably the Old Republic, honestly. About Revan. I think that would be really cool to go more in depth and actually have a movie about Revan. I
agree. I'm not a huge fan as you with the Old Republic. I want to learn everything, but I haven't played the game, so I don't know as much as you. I only know about the Sith Lords, Revan, Malgus, Bane, and stuff like that. But I also want an Old Republic trilogy.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to have like a kind of the storyline of the rise of like Darth Plagueis, which was
Yeah.
Darth Sidious's master originally. So to have like, you know, an actual storyline based around Darth Plagueis, I think would be pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe that can be a nice TV show.
Yeah, I've heard rumors about them possibly doing a Old Republic TV show.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Next up, we have actually one more question from Crab's Law. It's pretty funny. If you could choose one Star Wars planet to be your holiday destination, which planet would it be?
I would say Naboo. Looks like a
Ooh.
pretty nice place to take a vacation.
Go and see the Gungans with your kids.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I would say Mustafar. No, I was kidding. Scary. It seems pretty nice to have a nice swim.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a nice like a beach planet.
Yeah.
Have lots of
Except that
beaches.
it's a Imperial base, but I can live with that.
That's all right. Imperials aren't that
Yeah.
bad.
No. And the next question we have from Levi. Which is your favorite porn star?
I don't know if I have a favorite.
Yeah. This is a Christian podcast, Levi.
Is it Christian? Jay's Levy. Jay's.
Okay, let's see here. Next question is from Blaze Star Wars Battlefront. What spin-off movie do you want to be the next?
Well, we already have some confirmed. I guess I'd say ones that are not confirmed. Yeah, I would like to see like a Boba Fett spinoff. I think that would be pretty cool. Like having him as a younger child. Maybe like a teenager have a spinoff of Boba Fett.
Like a bounty hunter movie, like they talked about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back to what you said before. My favorite spin-off movie would be with Plagueis and Palpatine.
Yeah. Kind of like
maybe some Darth Maul in there too, because he was in that time period.
Yeah, actually,
that'd be awesome.
Darth Maul, in the Plagueis book was given at a young age to Palpatine to train. So
yeah,
that would be pretty interesting.
What's the worst villain from the Star Wars film so far?
I would say, like right now, I would say honestly Kylo Ren. He he just seems kind of like a immature little brat. That's very underpowered. At least, I mean, all we've seen right now, you know, is a little bit of him. So maybe he'll change my mind in The Last Jedi. But as far as The Force Awakens, I would say he's probably like one of the worst villains I've seen.
Yeah, I don't see him as a villain, so but I agree. But I think he will disappoint you in the Last Jedi. But we can talk about that in the next podcast. But I think actually Krennic, I think he's not that fleshed out. I don't like him that much.
Yeah.
Like other people do.
Yeah, I can agree
He was
with that.
pretty lame.
Yeah, he was pretty lame. He was all about his ego, and that's all he really cared about.
Yeah, when Tarkin said, "This is my operation now," he should have shot him in the face, like a real Empire.
I agree completely.
Yeah, and we have a question from Big Mitchum. Talk about the possibility of Finn being a related of Mace Windu.
I honestly think that's complete rubbish.
Yeah, it's silly.
I mean, would I like that? Honestly,
No.
I don't know. I don't think that would have any relevance to the story. So I don't think he is. Hopefully not, at least.
It would make the universe a bit smaller as well.
Yeah, I think everybody's hoping that certain characters are just related to characters they already know. And honestly, I kind of want Star Wars to go away from some of the old characters and you know, make themselves their own.
Yeah, but they also need to have some. I don't like if they're gonna take away the Jedi and the Sith. I don't like that. I want that to be a part of Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that's something that needs to always stay, is have Jedi and Sith.
Yeah. And now we don't have Sith anymore that we know of, so.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, supposedly the two villains are not Sith.
Now we have some questions from Crafts Lol again. Which hero would you like to see in Battlefront 2? And he says no Jar Jar. Exclamation mark.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say Jar Jar. I would say, I would like to see Mace Windu. Honestly, he hasn't been confirmed as far as my knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think he would be a really cool character to play as in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I would rather have Anakin and Obi-Wan before that, but I love Mace Windu, so I want to see him as well.
Yeah, I just feel like Anakin and Obi-Wan are almost they have to have them. So I believe they'll be in the game no matter what. But like as far as ones that
Okay,
are,
okay, I mean like that, yeah. Okay, now we have another question from Krabs Lol. Is the Fett family your favorite Star Wars family because of your name?
of course, there's a string of bounty hunters, Mandalorians. Like it's awesome.
Okay, Puppy Ivan asks why is Vorten such a noob?
That's the way I am, man. Can't change it. Can't change a noob, right?
Oh. Puppy Ivan again. What are your thoughts about the current political climate in America?
No comment.
No. Okay. Yeah, that was the questions. All of them.
All right, guys. So this is going to conclude the first podcast with myself, Vorten Fett, and Gustav. And our next podcast is we're going to go a little bit further into The Last Jedi and our expectations with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. That would be much appreciated. And stay tuned for next week. We will talk about The Last Jedi and more. Bye.
Peace.